Day 12 on The Wretched. Flight engineer Spencer Campbell reporting in. Spent the morning feeling sorry for myself for my piss poor attitude and my wasted day yesterday. I was I've been thinking maybe I should approach this a different way. Maybe rather than trying to fix a ship that I have no idea how to fix, get a beacon going and hoping somebody's out there, maybe I have to try and deal with this creature again. So I thought a little bit about what I know about the creature, and again, I'm now realizing I just don't know anything about it. I wasn't there in the front lines dealing with it when it happened. I remember hiding and hearing Zach, our marshal, he 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 laid down some cover fire. He was calling out orders. It was hard to hear, but he was saying something about the pods. I think he was trying to get people to get to the escape pods. Futile as it would be just to jettison yourself into space like that, but he tried to buy some time. I mean, I heard that rifle go off, and Zach didn't end up in a good place. So I'm thinking that the rifle isn't going to be my way of dealing with the creature if and when I have to. And I started thinking a little bit more about what this thing might be. The gut instinct is organic, right? It's organic life that we run into something horrible. And the damage on this ship indicates either it's some sort of insane xenobiology that we just don't understand, or the fact that it's moving around on the outside of the ship might imply that it's something different. I initially assumed that the talons that I had assumed it had this talon that eviscerated my friends, that tore up the walls, clung to the ceiling, was what it was letting it hang outside. But on sort of a second thought, the proximity alarms, when they go off, or when they did go off before I turned them off for the ship, they would appear in one place, and then for long periods of time there'd be no movement, and then they would appear somewhere else, which maybe is reinforcing this idea that the creature isn't organic. It's not going into some weird hibernation. I think it might be like leaving the ship temporarily and coming back. It's staying close, maybe. Maybe it hovers along. Maybe it has some sort of propulsion system that lets it do this. But the fact that it appears in one place and then long periods of time appears somewhere else, and I don't notice the movement, I don't know. I'm again now just starting to reinforce this idea that I don't really know anything about it. So I spent the morning doing that. Afternoon, I sound like a broken record at this point, but I spent the afternoon fixing things. Feeling sorry for myself, I was starting to get lightheaded, and I assumed it was just because I was in a bad way, in a bad place, but I realized that I was having a difficult time catching my breath. Oxygen systems had started to go. Thankfully, I have Emma's diagnostic tool, and I was able to figure out what was going on. Turns out when the habitat module was torn off the ship by the creature, the system hadn't kind of compensated yet for this change in oxygen production, so the whole cycle was off. And I've since kind of recalibrated the machine so that it should maintain itself. It shouldn't be trying to produce and recycle more air than is necessary. It knows that it's just me in here. It knows that the habitat module isn't attached anymore. So I bought myself some time. That's working, but it's just one more thing that I spent trying to fix that isn't the beacon and isn't the engines. Maybe it's a good thing that I didn't spend any time fixing the engines, but I got to get to that beacon eventually. So that was my day 12 on The Wretched. This is Flight Engineer Spencer Campbell reporting out.